Everybody loves ribeyes, but they're so expensive. I'm gonna show you today a hack, a secret butcher's cut. You don't find these all the time. It is a small portion of the whole entire cow. I'm gonna show you how you can get ribeyes for a fraction of the price. There's a little bit of a hack when the butchers are doing their thing that we're gonna find a piece of the ribeye that's stuck in another portion of a cheaper portion of the cow. Today, we're talking Chuckeyes. Come with me, let's break it down, let's go. All right, newsflash, cows are big. I mean, really big. A 1,200 pound cow or steer can yield upwards of 700 to 800 pounds of meat. This cut right here is one cut off of one shoulder of a cow. I'm gonna show you today, in this big subprimal piece of meat, there is a little bit of ribeye, and I'm gonna show you how to get it for $4 or $5 a pound rather than $13, $14, $15 a pound. This also has a multitude of uses that we'll briefly talk about, and I'll show you in another video, but I am here for the Chuckeyes. Let's go. My problem with cereal has always been, as an adult, has been like, okay, well, it's got lots of sugar and lots of other stuff. I can't have this as part of my regular day. Now, in comes Magic Spoon. Now, they are a company that has reimagined what cereal could be like. This cereal tastes very, very good. It's high protein, low sugar. I mean, this is the best right here. You gotta mix them. You gotta mix the cocoa and the peanut butter. That's the secret. This is actually cereal that has been upgraded into the 21st century. I love everything about this product, everything about cereal. I would not steer you all wrong. Magic Spoon is going to offer my viewers $5 off at checkout when you go to magicspoon.com/butcherwizard. Put it in the Butcher Wizard as your promo code. You get $5 off. It's that easy. They ship it to your door. It's awesome. I just can't begin to thank Magic Spoon enough for creating this product, and like, we're bringing cereal back into our lives, which is very important. You're doing the Lord's work here. So this is our whole beef chuck roll is what it's called, chuck roll. I got this at the chef's store. I'm not expecting you to go to the chef's store, grab a whole chuck roll and start cutting it on it. That can be for another video. If you want me to break down how I get all of the steaks out of the chuck, we're talking Chuckeyes, we're talking Denver steaks, we're talking chuck roasts, all these other things, I can do a thorough breakdown on a different video. If this video gets 500 likes, so click that like button, I will do a whole breakdown on a beef chuck roll. For today, I wanted to show you the Chuckeye steaks in their natural habitat. I'm gonna show you how I trim it and pull the Chuckeye off of this, and then we'll get back to it. Here we go. All right, so what we've done right now is basically I've flipped this over and I have separated the chuck roll and the Chuckeye roll. On the bottom of this chuck roll, you can see this big muscle that's right here. This is your Chuckeye roll. So what happens is, this is where the chuck is, and over here would be where your ribeye would start. What they have to do when they break down a cow is they just cut these into what's called subprimal cuts. This is from the chuck. They have to make a cut at a certain point to make the chuck, and then cut this chuck roll out of that chuck primal. I have the ribeye, which is on this side. Coming back to the chuck, we actually have, this is part of the ribeye. Look at that, that looks like a ribeye. What we're gonna do is take a couple of steaks before it starts to get a little tougher as you go down the Chuckeye roll. We're gonna take a couple of steaks right here. This is where the value is. This chuck roll, I spent $4.85 a pound. Again, there's a lot of other things going on here, but I can take this Chuckeye steak and get a ribeye-like quality for a very, very cheap price. We're gonna take, maybe, I want a good sized Chuckeye. A lot of times in a grocery store, because this is such a small portion of the overall chuck roll, they'll cut it really thin so they get more steaks out of it. I want a good sized steak. I did buy some from the grocery store, which we're gonna break down here in a minute. I'm gonna show you how you get it from a grocery store, how you cut your own, all these things in this video. All right, so from here, I like to cut first and then trim. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to square up this edge as much as possible. Go, about, I would say an inch or so. And we can get probably 3 of these steaks, depending on how thick you like them or how thick you cut them. You can tell as they're going, when they stop looking like a ribeye, that's when we know we are to the end of the Chuckeye portion. So now you can see how so for this one was the first cut off of it. So you can kind of see, you have the fat in the middle, in a typical ribeye. And on this one, you can see this little piece of meat kind of hangs off. We're getting to the end of the ribeye because you don't have that intermuscular fat ring right there. So again, about 3 1-inch steaks, and these are gonna be our Chuckeyes. And we can trim these up a little bit, just kind of make them look nice. I'm gonna show you how to cook them so they just cook like a ribeye. This is one I got from Publix. It's an Angus, so it's a little bit higher grade than the Choice. This is $10.99 a pound. You're gonna find, in my area, I find Chuckeyes from $8 to $10 a pound, depending on the grade, depending on where I find them. This is still way less expensive than the $16.99 a pound that they're selling their ribeyes for. It's still ribeye, and it's still like a value. No matter where you get it, Chuckeyes are a value. 2 inches to the right, we're talking about $14, $16 a pound. 2 inches to the left, we're talking about $8 to $10 a pound. If you know, pick up your Chuckeyes. When I also was at Publix, I picked up a couple ribeyes. Let's look at the difference side by side. Do the Pepsi challenge, ribeye versus Chuckeye. So I paid $13.99 a pound for this, and this is a Choice ribeye. This is an Angus Chuckeye. So it's a little bit not whole apples to apples, but I want to show you that yes, these are the same muscle. This is smaller, little brother, okay? Big brother. Expensive, less expensive. You guys choose on what you want to do. Here's my Chuckeye. Again, this was a really big chuck roll. I think this chuck roll was like 28 pounds. So it had a big old Chuckeye on it. Interior of the ribeye has a little more intermuscular fat, but these do also. It's just a smaller portion. Big brother, little brother, they eat the same. Let's cook a few of them. Do me a favor and go to the description. I will have links to the knives that I use and some of the other products that I use. Check out the sponsor for this video. Support the companies that support this channel. It helps us out, keeps the lights on, keeps the meat coming, so we can complete the Butcher Wizard mission, which is to empower regular people into finding new cuts of meat and the confidence to cut them themselves. So the secret to make the secret to make the Chuckeyes remind you of ribeyes is to actually tie them up. We're gonna use butcher's twine. What it does is it makes it into a nice round shape. Bring it in so that it's nice and taut. Here we go, we're gonna do our normal steak preparation here. A little bit of oil. Kosher salt, lots of it. Black pepper. Flip her over. Especially with these thick steaks, guys, really over season, okay? You only get a little bit of surface area. Over season that thing. Fire alarm is going off. I'm sure I'm not gonna make it, but I'm gonna try. Chuckeye is in. I'm going to let it sit for about 2 minutes or so on that first side, flip it over, put it in a 400-degree oven until it gets to the desired temperature. I'm looking for like 110, 115. I love mine a little bit more on the rare side. And then I'm gonna pull it, we're gonna rest it, and we're gonna eat it. And there it goes, people, the fire alarm. They're never gonna understand. This is cooking. This is not fire. It's the best I can do inside, guys. This is all I got. I gotta throw it in the oven. Pulled it out of the oven. Let's get it rested. I'll bring it back to the cutting board and we'll slice this puppy open and see what we got. All right, here we go. Here's our Chuckeye steak. This is so good. Tastes just like a ribeye, because you know what? It is a ribeye. It's a ribeye in a cheaper apartment. This is worth your effort to go find it. Go find it, check it out. If you loved this video, check out my other video about a secret chuck steak called the Terrace Major, which is kind of like a filet, but it's so much cheaper. Check out this video. See you on the next one.